effective, almost entirely eliminating the chance that you would get seriously ill or pass on the virus. That means that getting this vaccine not only protects you, but it also protects your family, your friends, your classmates, co-workers, and everybody around you. Everybody who's gotten a shot has a reason. I got mine so I could safely hug my adult daughters and get back to traveling across the state, meeting face-to-face with North Carolinians from all over. To encourage more people to get their vaccine, we announced the Your Shot at a Million Summer Cash Drawing and the Cash College Drawing several weeks ago. Today we have our first winners. In a moment they'll share a bit about why they got vaccinated. And remember, we still have 3 more $1 million drawings and 3 more college scholarship drawings for ages 12 to 17. You're automatically entered if you've gotten your shot, and you're entered twice if you got your shot after we announced this contest. So there's still time to get your shot and be entered twice to win. And even if you don't win cash, you'll still be winning by protecting yourself, your loved ones, against this deadly virus. So without further delay, I'd like to announce our first drawing winners. Our first winner of the Your Shot at a Million Summer Cash Drawing is Shelly Wyramon from Winston-Salem. Shelly is a mom of 3, or 3 children are here today, with 20 years of teaching experience. Her husband, Bill, is here with her today, along with her children. Here's a good one for you about Shelly. When the Department of Health and Human Services first called her to tell us she was a winner, she didn't believe it. She wasn't convinced until she got on a video call with Dr. Cohen. And as the former Attorney General of the state, it's good that Shelly had her guard up to avoid scams. So, I'm going to have Shelly come up. Where are you? Oh, you're right behind me already. Great, great, okay. Shelly, tell us a little bit about your reaction to winning this thing.
So obviously I was overwhelmed, not believing it. I still don't believe it. Who believes that you're going to win $1 million? It's absolutely unbelievable. Our family's still in shock.
Told your children the allowance might go up a little bit. Shelly, tell us a little bit more about why you chose to get vaccinated to protect yourself from COVID-19.
Well, my husband and I have aging parents that we weren't getting to spend much time with. I love to teach children, and I wasn't getting to do that in person. So I wanted to do my small part to be able to stop the spread of this vaccine with all that I've seen happening with COVID-19. And I wanted to be able to get back to spending precious time with those that I loved and those children that I love to teach.
Shelly, is there anything you'd like to share with people who may be on the fence about getting vaccinated?
I would say please do. Not because you have the chance to win a prize. That's not why I got vaccinated. Like I said, I got vaccinated because I wanted to be able to spend more time with my family, extended family, and honestly, it terrified me that I might spread that to someone that I love or to a child. So I would encourage you, please do get your vaccination.
Thank you so much, Shelly, for sharing your story with us. Appreciate you, Bill, and the children being here, and thank you for choosing to get vaccinated and doing your part to put this pandemic behind us for good. Now I'd like to invite Dr. Mandy Cohen, our Secretary of the North Carolina Department of Health and Human Services, to share a short update and to announce the winner of our Cash for College drawing. Dr. Cohen?
Well, thank you, Governor, and congratulations, Shelly and Bill. When you made the decision to get vaccinated, I'm sure you didn't imagine that you'd, on top of protecting yourself and your family from COVID-19, that you'd also win $1 million. We're grateful you're here. And we hope that Shelly and our Cash for College winner inspire more North Carolinians to get vaccinated. As the governor said, we need to do better here in North Carolina. Areas of our state with low vaccination rates are seeing increased COVID-19 cases, hospitalizations, and deaths. In Bladen County, where only 33% of people are vaccinated, there's now a critically high level of viral spread, and the county is back in the red zone. Younger people make up most of the cases, which are coming from one zip code. This is completely preventable. More than 99% of new COVID-19 cases in North Carolina are in people who are not fully vaccinated. Vaccines protect you from COVID-19 related hospitalizations and death, as well as complications from the virus. Many who have had COVID-19, including those with mild or no initial symptoms, struggle with long-term effects like shortness of breath, chest pain, and brain fog. And with the stronger and more contagious COVID Delta variant spreading, you cannot afford to wait to get vaccinated. Rigorous clinical trials among thousands of people ages 12 and older have proven that the vaccines are safe and effective. More than 151 million Americans have now been safely vaccinated and protected from this serious illness, virus-related hospitalizations, and death. Getting a vaccine is the best way to protect your family and your community from COVID-19. And that's exactly what our Cash for College winner did. I know she's going to inspire other young people to do the same. So please welcome 14-year-old Vanya Martinez. All right, Vanya, how do you feel as the first big winner of the Cash for College drawing?
Oh, when I first got the phone call, I thought it was a total lie. I did not believe it. And then my mom was like, no, it's real. It was exciting, but at the same time crazy, because I started a summer job so I could save for college.
And so maybe you can share with everyone, why did you choose to get vaccinated?
Well, after seeing so many people suffering that are young and lost some loved ones really close to me, I did my research on it, and I decided to get the vaccine because it was safe for me, it was safe for my family, and it could, like, maybe people that got it and that are on the fence for COVID, COVID wouldn't hit them hard, you know, and it would be safer for everybody.
Well, Vanya, we couldn't be more excited for you and for your mom, who is here as well, and we're excited for you to have this full scholarship to college. You have 4 years of high school to go, where you can be thinking about, again, we hope to maybe see you at one of the UNC schools here in North Carolina, but really anywhere you want to go. And so if you haven't already gotten your vaccine, we hope you do as soon as possible. Make sure you go to myspot.nc.gov to find a location near you. Thank you, Governor.
Thanks, Dr. Cohen, and thank you, Vanya. Your work to research the vaccine and then go with your mom to get your shots is so helpful as we try to beat this pandemic and get life back to normal. You've just heard from our first 2 winners about why they chose to get vaccinated. Yeah, they won big prizes, but even without the luck, they protected themselves and their families from COVID-19, and that's truly winning. As I've said, we'll have 3 more drawings over the summer, so if you haven't been vaccinated yet, there's still time to take your shot at 1 million. The vaccine is safe and effective and free, and we have plenty of it for everybody. So make the time. Talk with a friend who's already received their shot, or talk with your doctor if you still have questions. And remember, go to myspot.nc.gov to find a vaccine location near you. Also with me today is North Carolina Emergency Management Chief of Staff Will Ray. Brian Tipton and David Payne are our sign language interpreters. Behind the scenes, Jackie Mativier and Erica Kugler are our Spanish language interpreters. At this time, we'll take some questions from the media. We'll start with those in the room and then take questions from those who are on the phone with us today. So we'll take our first question. Any questions from media? If you could head to the mic, that would help us. Thank you.
Ben Sessoms of the News and Observer. So with the announcement of the lottery winners, how confident are you that vaccination rates will increase going in the coming weeks?
So we know that we saw a significant jump in vaccine rates in Ohio after they started their cash drawings to try to get more people vaccinated. Some of the other states across the country have begun the process as we have and haven't seen that much of a gain yet. We're hoping that today's announcement of these winners to show people that, yeah, you can win this, we got to pull out all the stops to get this done. So that's what we're doing, and whatever brings people in to get their vaccinations, we want to do. One of the things I know we have to do is to do this one person, one household, one telephone call, one shot at a time. That's where we are right now, and we hope this gins up some more interest.
Just one quick follow-up. You mentioned earlier the Delta variant, and public health experts expect it to be the dominant variant going into the fall. With vaccination rates plateauing across the state, how concerned should North Carolinians be, and what can they expect in terms of what it's going to look like as it becomes more dominant?
So if you are unvaccinated, you should be concerned, and particularly with this new Delta variant, it is shown to be more contagious and even more dangerous than the original COVID-19 virus. So getting your vaccination, however, protects you from this variant and from COVID-19. And the numbers every day as we look at them become more and more stark and more obvious that being vaccinated protects you from becoming seriously ill and dying. It also protects you. There are some breakthrough cases of people becoming positive even after vaccination, but almost all the time the illness is less serious, and you have a low chance of passing it on to someone else. So we hope that people will look at this and see that this is something that is still here, and it's moving through our population of unvaccinated people, and it shows we need to get our vaccines now. Any other questions?
Yeah, hi, this is Bridget Chapman with CBS 17. What impact have you seen so far from doing the lottery with these vaccination numbers, and how is it showing to quite literally be paying off?
Dr. Cohen, I might let you address that.
Thanks, Bridget. So as the governor said, in other states that first did this, it was earlier on in our vaccine effort, so I think they did see a larger bump. What I would say is we've seen a leveling off of our vaccinations where we were on a downward trajectory. And so we hope with today, with introducing Shelly and Vanya to everyone so folks can actually see it is real. We're hoping that folks will say, oh, you know what, I may have been putting that off. Maybe today's the day, and I hope it is. It's more important than ever for folks to get vaccinated. I remind folks we're doing a lot of things to make sure that folks can get vaccinated. Sure, the cash drawing is one of them. We're also offering $25 cash cards in 34 counties in different vaccine locations, because we also recognize that for some folks, they have to take time off of work. That means gas money. We want to make sure we're compensating for them for their time and their money. I want to remind our businesses that there are tax credits available from the federal government if they give folks time off from work. So again, all of these things I think we put together makes us able to say, look, vaccines are here. They're safe, they're free, they're effective, and they're easy to access close to you. So we're encouraging everyone to go to myspot.nc.gov to find a vaccine location close to them. Thanks.
And to follow up with that, so with it leveling out right now, if you don't see an additional bump in vaccination numbers going forward, will this have been worth it?
Well, I think that we are throwing, as the governor said, everything at this. And we never know which individual action will make the most difference. And so you're going to continue to see us do everything from making vaccines convenient to encouraging businesses to use those federal tax credits, to this drawing, to the $25 cash cards. So you can see we're pulling out all the stops because it's so important for the health of North Carolina going forward. And not just the health of individuals, but really the health of our entire state as we think about our future.
Any other questions in the room? Oh, sorry.
Good morning, Governor. Dr. Cohen, Matt Tallhome with WRAL. When you look at those rural counties, especially the ones you mentioned, Bladen, and those short, small numbers of vaccination rates there, what more can be done in those communities where you're seeing the cases go back up, and especially if young people just aren't getting vaccinated?
You know, I think this does have to be done one person at a time, one group at a time. We even have people who are going door to door to talk about their experience of getting the vaccine. We're continuing to talk with community leaders, ministers, and we're working really hard with general practice doctors to incentivize them to talk with their patients about getting the vaccine and making sure that they are compensated for their time. I think it is critical. You know, it's unfortunate that people are going to start seeing even more their neighbors get sick and going into the hospital. And hopefully this is enough for people to understand that these vaccines are safe and effective. Tens of millions of people across the world have gotten these vaccines, and the data is very strong as to their safety. The effectiveness is phenomenal when you think about how protected you are from COVID-19 and its variants by getting this virus, getting the vaccine. It's important to do. Dr. Cohen, would you want to add anything to that? Okay.
As a quick follow-up to that, if those numbers keep going up in those counties with the low vaccination rates and the cases going up, will restrictions need to be put back in place?
You know, we don't want to go there. With vaccines, we have the way out, and we hope to continue to do everything we can to convince people that this is the way not only to protect ourselves and our families, but the way toward a strong economy. Because we see the vaccinated people are going out and doing the things that they were doing. I'm doing most everything that I was doing before because I've been vaccinated and feel confident that the vaccine is going to protect me. And I've gone in and eaten at restaurants, and that helps the economy, and people are traveling, that helps the economy. So we're hoping that getting more people vaccinated will get us where we need to be. Okay, we'll go to the phones now. Or do you, oh, I'm sorry. Yes.
La Conexión USA newspaper. And nosotros queremos saber, a pesar de todo el esfuerzo grandísimo que ustedes han hecho,
especially on the big effort that you have made.
Solo el 8% de la población vacunada es latina, es hispana.
Only 8% of the population is Latin American.
¿Qué más debemos hacer los medios de comunicación y líderes comunitarios para potenciar este trabajo y garantizar que más personas se vacunen?
What else can the news media and the leaders of the communities do to increase these numbers?
We are deeply concerned about the lower rate of vaccination in our Latinx Hispanic community, but it's one of the reasons why in North Carolina, when we began this process, that we decided to go our own way and create our own database, which gives us a lot more information about who is getting the vaccine and where they live. We've been able to use this data to concentrate our efforts on these communities. And I'll let Dr. Cohen talk a little bit about some of the things that have been done.
Well, thank you. I want to say that we have made incredible progress in vaccinating our Hispanic and Latinx community, and it is because of the partnerships with communities. And I particularly want to thank our community health workers. We have hundreds of community health workers, many of them from our Latino and Hispanic communities, who have just done incredible work. As the governor said, this is about having conversations with your community, with your friends and family. I particularly want to also thank many of the church leaders within the Latino Hispanic community who have been incredible throughout this effort. And what you see in the numbers is actually we are vaccinating at a higher rate within the Latino community than they represent in the population, which is very rare if you look across all of the states in the United States. So I think North Carolina has found our work on those partnerships, and that's what we're going to keep after. And I'm so grateful for Vanya and her mom, Ms. Martinez, for being here today. We're so grateful that they decided to get vaccinated vaccinated and are sharing their story about why folks could get vaccinated. So I'm hopeful that story as well will help others to be inspired to get vaccinated today. Thanks.
Más,
I have one other question.
y es acerca de los trabajadores agrícolas.
Concerning the farmer workers.
Es difícil para ellos salir de los campos y tomar la vacuna. ¿Hay más programas hacia ellos movilizándose hacia los campos?
It is difficult for them to move out of their campsites where they work. So is there any efforts being made to reach them?
Yeah, this is a critical issue that we must make sure, because agriculture, farming is one of our leading economic engines in North Carolina, and it's important that the people who are doing the work are protected. And I'll let Dr. Cohen talk a little bit about the specific efforts that are going on.
Hi there, thanks for the question. And we have had a particular focus on our farm workers, and I want to thank our farm workers for participating in our programs. In fact, we've had phenomenal response in some of our farms. We've seen a 90% uptake of vaccines in the farms. We go to the farms to do the vaccination, as well as partner with the Department of Agriculture and others to make sure that when folks are coming into our state, they have access to a vaccine right when they're coming into our state. And it's really been a great partnership. And remember, it's not just something that's in the eastern part of our state, but also I want to acknowledge the western part of our state that's done terrific work as well. We're never done. I mean, and that's why we're here today, to make sure we're encouraging folks to get vaccinated. But I think we have definitely, again, it's those partnerships that have allowed us to be successful.
And let's go to our phones now.
Our first question on the line is from Brian Anderson with the Associated Press.
Hi, Governor. Hi, Dr. Cohen. Thanks for the time, and congrats to the winners there. I just had two quick questions for you, Governor Cooper. We know that the CDC extended the eviction moratorium, saying it's likely the last month they'll do that, extending it by 1 month through the end of July. Will you do the same to mirror the CDC or let it expire at the end of June? Second question is Governor Asa Hutchinson of Arkansas, he said this weekend that if incentives don't work, reality will. And I'm curious if you share that sentiment and think that hospitalizations and cases can rise due to low vaccination rates in these communities.
Well, as for the second thing, reality is already here. We are seeing people get sick and go to the hospital and die when it could be prevented. So we know that the more people who get infected and who die now, the more reality that is for so many families, friends, business associates, and others across this state. So we've got to continue pushing because we don't want to see another death related to COVID-19, and we have the answer in our hands, which is vaccines. A lot of people are still struggling with paying rent. It's one of the reasons that we put the HOPE program in place and have funded programs in larger counties across North Carolina. Every county is now covered with the HOPE program funding. And we know that this money is going directly to landlords to pay for tenants who are behind if they're below a certain income. We are looking at the data. We are looking at what the CDC has done, and I'll be making a decision this week on whether we extend the moratorium. Next question, please.
Follow-up, Brian Anderson, Associated Press.
And forgive me, one of the things with the HOPE program is we're seeing a lot of people who are unaware of it, unfamiliar with it. And I know through these news conferences, y'all have tried to get the word out. Can you sort of explain any additional efforts or unique efforts to get people aware of this HOPE program? And just to close the loop on the eviction moratorium, have you made a decision and just not announced it, or are you still not yet decided?
We're still looking at all the data to make a decision this week on whether to extend the moratorium. We're still gathering information. What was the other part of your question? I'm sorry, Brian.
to get the word out about the HOPE program?
Yeah.
We're seeing
Sorry about that.
fewer people utilize it.
We've been working with a lot of